بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and greetings to all of the honored guests, Congressman Mike Honda, and all of the other dignitaries and luminaries on the stage, and all of the luminaries out there in the audience. It's a great honor to be here on this very auspicious occasion. But I would like to just remind myself and remind all of you. And these words are reminders because it's not anything that none of you don't know. But at the end of the day, the American Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, these are wonderful words, and they mark major milestones in the social history of humanity. And as is the case of the Indian Constitution and its adoption and implementation, and this day, this gathering, we honor that tremendous human accomplishment. However, at the end of the day, all of the constitutions and declarations are merely words on paper. It's the actions of human beings that give meaning and bring those words to life. And the Indian American Muslim Council has taken a course, plotted a course that says not only to its members, not only to the other communities that constitute the Indian diaspora here in the United States, but to even those folks who are back home in India, the various religions, the various racial and ethnic groups, linguistic groups, that they are willing to get down into the trenches and do the hard work that gives meaning to the lofty words of the Indian Constitution by working for peace, working for pluralism, and working for social justice. I think the last time, perhaps Congressman Honda doesn't remember, a few years ago, I was honored to share the stage with His Excellence in San Jose at an event that was commemorating the Japanese Internment Act. I don't know if you remember, Congressman Honda. But that commemoration and the sadness, the tragedy associated with it, but also the triumph, because despite the harshness, despite the short-sightedness, despite the cruelty, and all of those things, all of those words we could use to describe the internment of innocent Japanese citizens during the Second World War, it was also a triumph, because the harsh conditions of those camps out in the deserts and mountains of Nevada and Arizona and New Mexico, they did not crush the spirit of the Japanese American community. And that was a triumph embedded in that tragedy. And I think that the events that we see today and the events that really motivated the creation of the Indian American Muslim Council, such as the massacres in Gujarat and other sad moments, tragic moments, did not crush the spirit of the Indian American community, nor their allies of other faiths who stood toe to toe with them to say this does not represent India. This does not represent the spirit of the Constitution of India. So that's a triumph embedded in tragedy. In conclusion, let me say something, lighten the mood a bit, like, man, Imam Zaid, this is supposed to be a celebration. So, a few years ago, President Jimmy Carter was in Berkeley to talk about his book, a very controversial book because it discussed Israel in the context of apartheid. And as you know, that can be extremely controversial here in the United States. So someone asked President Carter, they said, President Carter, this is very controversial, and how could you do such a thing? And President Carter replied, he said, I'm an old man, I'm going to die soon. I'm never going to run for public office again. And I have Secret Service protection for the rest of my life as a former president. So I can say whatever I want to say. Now, I say that to say this. Congressman Mike Honda is in office, and he speaks the truth. He's in office, and he champions the downtrodden and the oppressed. So I say if Councilman Anand Kumar Jha can be the Prime Minister of India, let's push for Mike Honda for president in 2016. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, Imam Zaid Shakir. It's always